today's workout.
Hey, what's going on? Chris Jones, BJJ strength coach with today's workout. I'm gonna start off doing some Lego squats with a cross crawl and then some slow lateral crawl. So show you what the Lego squat is. You're gonna load yourself up on one leg. The other leg is gonna go behind you, and I'll show you from a side angle too, but I wanna show the cross crawl from the front. So you're gonna start to lower yourself down as far as you can get, then put your other foot down on the floor, and you're gonna kind of like sit on that, on your heel if you can. This will be good for ankle mobility. Chest nice and tall. Then you're gonna drive back up, push up on that leg. And then when you get up, then you're gonna do a cross crawl. So either hand, forearm, or elbow, wherever you're at, make sure you touch that. So if you can't touch here, then go to the forearm. All right, if you can't touch the forearm, then just use your hand. Back down, I'll show you from the side now. So here, lower yourself down, come to here, and then drive back up, cross crawl. So you're gonna do 10 of those on each side. Then when you're done with those, you're gonna come down to the ground and you're gonna do nice, slow lateral crawls. Anywhere from, try to get 15 feet down, 15 feet back if you can, 10 feet down, 10 feet back. Go nice and slow though, as slow as you can go with doing it correctly. So with the lateral crawls, I'm gonna get into, if I was gonna do a baby crawl, except I'm gonna put my hands together in the middle, and then my knees will be apart, and then I'm gonna lift my knees off the ground. So you can look at your knees are apart, your feet are apart. So then I'm gonna lift my knees off the ground, and then I'm gonna move opposite arm and leg. I'm going to my left, so I'm gonna start with my left hand out, and my right leg's gonna come in. All right, now my left leg is gonna go out, and my right arm is gonna come in. I'm just gonna repeat that process, going nice and slow. Trying to stay nice and strong too. We wanna try to resist rotation. So when we move, we don't wanna drop and have our hips rotate. Stay nice and strong, and then nice and strong back. Okay, if this is too difficult, then you can go to your knees. Just be nice and slow when you do it. You can also go to your knees if you need to do some active recovery. If you're, say you're a couple minutes in, and instead of just completely resting, you can use the lateral crawls as an active recovery where you do it on your knees. So you're still getting that contralateral movement, so you're still tying that X in, so which is still gonna be really good for reflexive strength. So it'll be actually better to do that than to just rest completely. But if you do need to rest completely, if you're, you just need to recover and you're just really having a hard time, then turn your timer off, rest, and then when you're getting ready to start again, then turn it back on. So you're gonna do this all together for 5 minutes. The next thing you're gonna do is use a kettlebell and do a lift, catch, and press. If you don't have a kettlebell, I highly suggest you go get one. Again, I said on my other video, as far as lists of equipment, kettlebell would be at the top of my list, then like a sandbag or a suspension trainer, and then some dumbbells. But kettlebells would definitely be the top on the list. They sell them at Walmart and Target now. There's really no reason unless you just can't afford one. You're gonna go over the kettlebell like you're gonna do a deadlift. So I wanna act like there's a bar going across the top of the kettlebell, and my toes are gonna be on the other side of that bar. I'm gonna hinge down, grab the kettlebell with my arms straight, they don't have to be locked out, but I don't want my elbows bent, all right? So you can look at it, what they call is you're gonna take the slack out of your arms. The reason being is because right when I start to lift the kettlebell, right when my body starts to move up, that kettlebell should move, okay? If my arms are bent and I start to move, that kettlebell didn't move yet. All right, so that's what, you don't want this action going on. You want to be here. You're gonna drive your legs down like you're gonna push the earth away from you, and then slide your hands around the kettlebell and catch it at your chest. Here. And then you're gonna take it, and press it over your head, and then reverse it. Okay, so from the side, you're here, make sure you're hinged, you're not rounded, and you're not trying to squat down like this, okay? So you're hinged, push your heels into the ground, your feet into the ground, literally like the whole joke, like Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups, he does earth downs. Think about doing that. You're trying to push the earth away from you. So you're here, push the earth away from you, catch, press, bring it down. You're gonna do 10 of those. Then after your 10th one, you're gonna come down. You're gonna put the kettlebell right at your belly button and pretend that there's a pole going from the kettlebell all the way up towards the ceiling, right through your belly button. So you're gonna go over it. You're gonna lift your knees up off the ground, and then you're gonna go opposite arm and leg. Almost kind of like the lateral crawl, except now you're going in circles. So this is called an axis crawl. Keeping my head and chest up. You're gonna go 2 in one direction, and then 2 in the other direction. Okay, I know I only did 1, but this is demonstration purposes. All right, so then and after that, you're gonna come back up and do 10 lift, catch, and presses. This one is also gonna be for 5 minutes, so set your timer for 5 minutes. And then as far as recovery, the same thing as with the lateral crawls, you can do the axis crawls on your knees. All right, use that as an active recovery. The last thing you're gonna do in this workout, at least exercise-wise, is gonna be some sort of heavy carry. Don't care what you carry it different ways if you want, but just carry something for 5 minutes and you can change. If you have different objects, you can change different objects. If you feel like your weight isn't that heavy for what you have compared to what you can carry, then try to carry that object for 5 minutes without putting it down, okay? You can do it that way. If you have heavy objects, pick that up, maybe walk 50 feet all together with it, put it down, rest a little bit, or carry it a different way, put it on your shoulder, come down and back, then put it on the other shoulder. Switch what you're using. I have 3 different things here. I'll show you different, different variations that we can do. So I'll start with the kettlebell. If you have 2 kettlebells, you can suitcase carry them, or farmer's walk, whatever you want to call them, have another one on the other side, or just do one side. This is really good because this is going to want to pull you down, so you got to stay strong. The key with carrying is making sure that you keep good posture the whole time. If you let your body compensate for the weight, you're kind of defeating the purpose. So in other words, I don't want to walk like this, right? I want to make sure that I'm staying strong because now I'm using my core, I'm using a lot of muscles to keep myself upright while this weight is trying to pull me down, okay? So that's why doing offloaded carries is really good. Another way you can do it is out in front like a goblet. The further you keep it away from yourself, the harder it is. So with this, you can carry, just go forward and back, or you can also go lateral and carry it, which is really hard to do. You can even grapevine doing it too, down and back. You can also go bottoms up, is really hard to do, or just press it over your head and walk like this. That's another way you can do it also. With sandbag, my personal favorite is the Zercher carry. So you're just carrying it like this, not really pulling it close to you though, trying to hold it out away from you a little bit, and just walk like this. This is a good one to try to do for 5 minutes, holding this for 5 minutes. Very, very hard. You think that it's easy at first, and all of a sudden you start feeling it in your lower back and everything really starts to fire. Another thing that I forgot to mention in my list of different things that you should get for your training, if you live someplace where you can go in the woods, get a rock. They're free and they're really, really good. And you can decide the weight. You can go and get different ones. Okay, you can get one for pressing over your head. You can get one for carrying. You can get one for holding and doing squats. So go out in the woods and find yourself a couple rocks. Just look out for snakes and wild animals. But you can get yourself a rock, bring it up and just carry it like this. All right, or if you want to try to put it on your shoulder, or bring it up to the Zercher and carry it. All right, carrying is a fantastic way to get really, really strong, really, really safe way to, very safely too. Because all you're doing is picking something up and carrying it. The only dangerous part, if there would be one, is if it is too heavy for you to pick up in the first place. That picking it up, that's where something bad can happen. But if it's something that you can pick up, once you start moving, all you're doing is carrying it. If it gets too heavy, you just drop it. All right, so you're not doing any sort of explosive movements where, something could go wrong throughout the whole thing. All right, so carrying is a great way to get super strong. If you don't believe me, look up one of the best strength coaches in the world. His name is Dan John, and he is a huge advocate of just carrying heavy shit. So 5 minutes for this one also. Then again, like the other ones, if you want to go back through the whole thing a couple times, that's totally up to you. Hope you enjoyed this workout. Again, you know my spiel. Subscribe to the channel, please. Hit a like button. Comment on these if you like them. If you don't like them, tell me you don't like them. I'm totally fine with that. Constructive criticism is good. All right. I've been doing this for a while, but I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. Still trying to become a better coach every day. These are for you guys. So if you can help me out, because I'm helping you out, if you can go to the Patreon page, $1 a month would be fantastic. All right. That would actually, if I get enough people to do that, that would really help me out a lot.